Okay, this is Ringwalk Media. It's nearly New Year, nearly 2023. We've been very lucky. We've been invited down to the Phoenix camp. We've got Jack Massey with us. He's just finishing a big session today. Of course, ahead of his big fight against Joseph Parker next month at Manchester Arena. Really nice to see you, mate, and happy Christmas to you.
Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas, mate, and Happy New Year for tomorrow.
So listen, we've got a massive fight coming up. A fight you probably couldn't say no to.
Yeah, fight in my life. It's a huge fight. This big ask, moving up to heavyweight and fighting a top 10 heavyweight. But this is all hands on for this one. It's go time.
So I know you're not going to tell us what's going on in your camp, but how's it going? Is it you covering all the bases? I'm assuming getting quite a few boys in to have a good go.
Yeah, definitely. Like you've seen, we've just finished 10 round sparring today, 3 weeks out. So it's all going good. Everything's going to plan. So we're going to be ready on the night.
So just take us back to the point where you sort of had this fight on the table. Was it an instant yes, or was it something you had to think about?
Yeah, do you know what? When it came around, we've had a bit of a tough year inside of boxing and outside of boxing. It's been hard. We've got things still going on behind the scenes, but at the time I got the phone call. It was on a Friday 3 weeks ago. I was actually on the scaffolding on that freezing cold week when it was about -6, -7. I was on the scaffolding and Kevin rang me and offered me the fight. And the first words out of my mouth was, "Yeah, let's have it. Let's go." So
that's a pretty amazing phone call. So I would imagine you didn't fall off that scaffolding, mate. I mean, stepping up to heavyweight from cruiser, a lot of people will go, "Well, that ain't much," but there's a big difference, isn't there?
Oh yeah, massive difference. That weight. It's heavyweights is a different game. That's it's risk and reward, and that's why the heavyweights earn the most, because you've got that risk of getting hit by them big punches. It does a lot more damage than the lighter weights. So it's a big difference. But I've sparred a lot of heavyweights over the past, the likes of Dillian Whites, and I've actually sparred with Parker before, and a few other names. So I've been in there with heavyweights. I know sparring is different to fighting, but I've been in there with heavyweights and moved around the ring with them, so I know what it feels like a little bit. So it's a big step up, but we're ready for it.
And this is a pretty good time to fight Joseph Parker. He's just come off a loss to Joe Joyce in an incredible fight back end of last year. I mean, it was a really big fight. We were ringside and saw some of the shots he was throwing at Joe, and Joe didn't even flinch. But he's got to that point in his career now where it's kind of a crossroads. He's got to start putting the performances in. He's lost 3 now in his career. And you're going the other way, really. I know you've only lost 1. You're a very similar record to Anthony Joshua and also to Dillian White when they beat him. I think Anthony Joshua was 20-0, Dillian was 23-1. You're 20-1, so it's a perfect opportunity for you to jump in there.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be very dangerous because obviously he's lost his last bout against Joyce. So this is sort of kind of career-defining fight for him. So he's going to be coming for the win, and he's going to be very dangerous. So we've got to be on point from round 1. But also for me, this is the fight of my life. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's doing it for the money and this and that." Well, yeah, they're right, but not for this money, for the one after. It's you look at this fight, it's like a £1 million lottery ticket. If I win this fight, if you've got a £1 million lottery ticket there, what are you going to do to get hold of that ticket? Do you know what I mean? You're going to go all out and do what you can to get hold of it. So I'm going to be very dangerous. I'm going to be, on point more than I've ever been in this fight. So we're going for the win.
I've just seen some of your warming up and your sparring as well, and Christ, you can punch. I mean, that's going to be boding for a great fight because Parker can punch as well. The pair of you, I mean, I'd say you're probably on even par.
Yeah, definitely, we're both punchers. I'm not going to mix it with Parker, not giving any game plans away, but I'm not going to stand there toe to toe. I will do through the fight. Little spurts here and there, but I'm not going to go out and just stand toe to toe with him. Obviously he's got the weight advantage, so, and I've got the speed advantage and the movement advantage, so we're going to use that to my ability.
I think from a boxing fan's perspective, this is a cracking fight. You're a local lad and it's going to be in the Manchester Arena. You fought there a few times before, but never really had the big crowd behind you, and this time you're going to have a packed house.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were saying before, I've been there I think 4 times now, and it's either been really early on or a floater at the end with, you know, not many people in there. But it's probably one of my dream places to fight, the MEN, because it's, you know, it's down the road from me. It's probably, you know, Manchester's the next city to where I live, and obviously going there and watching concerts there, and I used to go and watch Manchester Storm play ice hockey there when I was really young, and it's just one of them places where you look around and think, you know, I want to fight in here one day, and it to be packed out, you know, looking up into the stands and thinking, you know, hundreds of thousands of people watching you. It's exciting.
It's going to be a cracking night, and of course there's a couple of other big fights on the card, one of which is Richard Riakporhe, your old mate, and I'm sure you're going to take a keen interest in that fight after yours.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be good to get out after the fight and watch that fight, see how he gets on. I've sparred Gulatsky in the past. He's a good fighter, southpaw. We'll see how he gets on against him. But that's a fight we definitely want, you know, down the line. Let's make a wrong right, and yeah, it's an interesting fight as well. But Eubank and Smith, it's gonna be a cracking fight.
That's a really interesting fight. One was it came to light that was going to happen probably just before Christmas. I mean, Chris Eubank, he gives it all the big un, basically, but he's been training hard over Christmas, and Liam Smith is, again, very similar to yourself. It's almost the fight of his life as well at his stage of his career, so it's going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a bit on the fence with it. I like Smith. You know, he's a nice guy. I've met him a few times, and I'm going for Smith, but it's going to be a big ask. You know, Eubank, he's tough, he's fast, he's got power. I think what Smith's got over him is the you know, he's been around for a long time. He's got the experience, and he's been in there with the likes of Canelo and stuff. So, you know, you might see that experience take over. Who knows? But it's going to be a good fight either way.
And I think what you just mentioned there, Canelo, the winner of that fight is being sounded out to fight Canelo here in London after John Ryder, hopefully.
That'll be great. That'll be belting.
Never know, it might be you, mate.
I mean, stepping up, didn't he? It's a cruiserweight.
I mean, it's a cracking fight. You know, you deserve it, mate, because you've had, you know, like you say, you've had a tough year. You've only had one fight last year because you were avoided by pretty much everybody. Yeah. And that must be the most frustrating thing as a, you know, at that point you were a world champion, you know. It must be frustrating to work that hard and get into that position and then just get swerved. Yeah,
it's frustrating. It was, you know, at the start of my career, it was quite funny. You know, all these guys are scared to fight me, but now it's just like it's, you know, it's very frustrating. You want these fights, you want these to happen, because I never shy away from a fight myself. Obviously, you know, going and stepping up to heavyweight and fighting Parker, but that's what boxing should be all about, and it's starting to happen a little bit more. And these fights are getting made, especially on Boxer and, you know, Frank Warren as well, and that's what boxing should be all about. Let's not want this, you know, super god boxer, you know, everyone wants to see. Let's get them all fighting, and, you know, that's what it should be all about. And say you're victorious, you beat Parker. Who do you want? We're shouting them all out if we beat Parker, right? In an ideal We're shouting them all out, but you know, obviously, you know, you got all the heavyweights there, so you got to look at the top 10, haven't you? Would you go Fury? I'd go Fury, yeah, absolutely. I'd step in there with Fury, 100%. You know, it's a 1 in a million, but yeah, Fury, Joshua, yeah.
Joshua would be a great fight because he's obviously looking to step back up and get back in the fold. I mean, you and Joshua in the middle of the year, that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Be nice, mate. Be nice.
Definitely sort your way to. Of course, you're going to be a dad very soon, so that'll sort that out.
That's it. So I'm fighting to put food on the table, so that's an extra bit of grit behind me now as well. So yeah, definitely.
You've got that smile on the face that says, yes, I definitely need that fight.
Absolutely, mate.
Well, listen, mate, it's been cracking to see that you've finally got the fight you deserve. Credit to your manager, Kevin. Kevin's a great manager and had a great year with all his fighters, and he's topped it off with this one.
Yeah, Kevin's the best manager in the business. I think he looks after his boxers, all of his boxers, from whatever level they are. He treats them the same and looks after them all. He's worked for absolute wonders for me. He's been there for me through hard times, tough times, and got me up to this fight now. So Kevin's take me off to him, mate.
Well, listen, we'll leave it with a message to all your supporters and all your fans. What you got to say to them ready ahead of your fight?
Don't sleep on me. Obviously a lot of you, saying obviously I'm coming up from cruiserweight and I'm doing it for the money, which I'm not. I'm going to put on a good fight, and I'm going to go out there to beat Parker on the night.
Well, listen, Jack, we can't wait for this fight. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Nobody in boxing deserves this chance more than you do, mate, and we wish you all the best. We look forward to seeing how it goes.
Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Happy New Year to you, mate.
Happy New Year.